Have you ever stopped to think about the weight of a choice made in the name of honor? Well, in Game of Thrones, that dilemma took shape in the fate of Ned Stark, the Wolf of Winterfell, when his loyalty to the truth led him straight to the scaffold. Today, we revisit the day when honor cost the head of one of the show's most iconic characters. Ned Stark was never a man of half measures. For him, right was right, even if it put him at a disadvantage in the dangerous board of King's Landing. From the very first season, his rigid, almost unbreakable stance seemed out of place in the political rot seething through the halls of the Red Keep. While everyone else played with lies, tricks, and betrayals, Ned insisted on playing fair. And it was precisely that integrity that condemned him. When he discovered the truth about Cersei's children and the throne's secret, Ned believed that revealing everything would be enough to restore order. But in Westeros, justice was never about truth. It was about power. The scene of his arrest was already a shock. Seeing the Lord of Winterfell, who seemed unshakable, humiliated in front of everyone, showed that in Game of Thrones no one was safe. But nothing prepared viewers for the moment when Joffrey, young and merciless, decided to ignore every deal and ordered Ned Stark's execution. Remember the feeling? The gathered crowd, Arya trying to get closer through the chaos, Sansa begging for her father's life, and Ned being forced to kneel before the Iron Throne. In that moment, we all shared the same hope that he would be spared. After all, he was the protagonist. He was the face that carried the entire first season. But in Game of Thrones, hope is nothing more than a cruel illusion. When Sir Payne's sword fell, silence consumed the screen. It was swift, cold, and relentless. And Ned Stark's head rolled, taking with it any notion of safety we still held in the show. And in the middle of all this emotion, let me quickly tell you, if you like reliving epic moments like this with the intensity they deserve, you need to check out the UE Hyperboom 2, the powerful portable speaker that turns any place into a spectacle. Deep bass, impressive clarity, and long-lasting battery. It's the kind of speaker that could make even the silence of King's Landing's execution echo with more weight. UE Hyperboom 2, because every scene deserves to be felt for real. Back to the execution. What makes this scene so unforgettable isn't just Ned's death, but what it symbolized. It was the series' breaking point, George R.R. Martin's direct warning. Nuhuan Isafi, not even those who wear morality as their banner. Ned's death was the spark of the War of the Five Kings, the catalyst for the chaos that engulfed West, and at the same time, it was a cruel reminder about the nature of honor in a world rotten with politics. Ned believed values and principles could survive amid corruption, but his fall showed that in King's Landing, honor was weakness. He didn't lose his head just for the truth he carried. He lost it because he didn't know how to play the game. That shock changed the way we watched the series. From then on, there were no guarantees. Every episode became an emotional game of Russian roulette. If Ned Stark could fall, anyone could. And, of course, it also changed the characters. Arya, traumatized by the scene, would carry that moment forever on her bloody path of vengeance. Sansa, forced to watch, learned firsthand how cruel and treacherous power could be. Robb, in the north, turned his grief into war, beginning his own tragedy. Catelyn, with her loss, saw the thread of Stark family stability break, never to be mended. The death of Ned Stark was not just an execution. It was the birth of a new era an era where the throne was stained with innocent blood, and where the viewer's innocence was ripped away along with the character's head. And maybe that's why this scene remains one of the most remembered to this day. It wasn't just shock value. It was a brutal lesson about the rules of this universe. Playing fair docility keep you alive. And I'll leave you with this question. If you were in Ned Stark's place, facing a throne built on lies and steel, would you choose honor, even knowing it could cost you your head?